So Governor Huckabee, candidate for president, says that if he becomes president, he would have the Justice Department criminally prosecute Planned Parenthood. One of the things that Donald Trump has done is he's opened up the middle. He's shown that voters are so enraged against immigration, against the political power base in Washington, D.C., the big money people in Washington, D.C., and we don't trust the political prognosticators and the advisors. Trump blew a hole in all that. So it gives permission to Mike Huckabee to say something that he might not have said 6 months ago. I don't know that Huckabee would have said 6 months ago that he would use the Justice Department to criminally prosecute Planned Parenthood. Maybe he would, I don't know. But one of the benefits of Trump's candidacy thus far is he has shown that Americans are sick of political correctness. Sick of it. And they're sick of politically correct sound bites. Now, here's Trump's problem. As I've been watching this man carefully, and the first time he sounded like a politician was when he went after Jeb Bush because of Jeb Bush's comments about defunding Planned Parenthood. And he misspoke when he talked about we don't need $500 million for women's health care. I think what he meant to say was for that kind of women's health care, which is not really health care at all right? However he said it, Bush blew it, but now Trump is going after Bush. And it just seems so shallow. When Trump is doing it, it seems so stilted. Like now, Trump, don't play the political game. You've been misquoted enough and don't go there. But anyway, if Trump begins to go down, his voters are not going to go to Jeb Bush. They're not. They're going to go to insurgent candidates, to outsiders, to Ted Cruz, to Carly Fiorina, to Ben Carson, maybe to Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee had a very large evangelical following when he ran and did quite well, but he was not a good fundraiser. So maybe Huckabee, if he really wants to be president, is going to just step back and take a play out of the Donald Trump playbook and start to be a little on the outlandish side. You might remember that Huckabee was a Baptist preacher years ago. Governor Huckabee, let that closet preacher come out. Let that closet maniac come out to play in the political arena. That's what he needs to do. Just throw down. I mean, you see what's happening with Trump. And I would venture to guess that Mike Huckabee is going to have more substance than Donald Trump. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Here's one other person I want to talk about really quickly, and then I got to get to ISIS in the next section, and that's John Kasich, governor of Ohio. He seemed to be a pretty conservative man when he was in the House years ago, had a pretty good reputation, but there were people even then that said, no, watch out for this guy. He said things that were a lie. Do not trust this man, okay? He believes in the oligarchy of the Supreme Court. He said, the Supreme Court has spoken. It's the law of the land concerning the Obergefell decision, the so-called homosexual marriage decision. This shows a complete lack of understanding about our Constitution and about the rule of law. And it shows someone who's either really unintelligent or really fearful. Because he should be saying this is outside of the rule of law. We should be discussing impeaching these judges. And I know that it's old news for some people. We've got the bread and circuses distracting us. But if you have not read the Obergefell decision, the dissents, particularly all 4 dissents, you need to. In my opinion, each of those justices, in one way or another, said that this was a criminal act and that it might lead to physical revolution. Actual shooting civil war of some kind. Read the opinions and you'll see for yourself, okay? That was, in many ways, the most ominous decision that the Supreme Court has ever given, with the possible exception of Roe versus Wade. So don't trust Kasich if he says that it's the law of the land because the Supreme Court spoke. No, when God speaks, that's the law of the land, the whole earth.